Good evening, everyone. Hi, welcome to another edition of our Cybersecurity and Me Fireside Chat. Today, we have with us a friend and a colleague in the cybersecurity industry. Her name is Ngozi Duru. Ngozi recently released a book titled Building Resilient Cybersecurity Strategies for the Modern Era. So we're going to be asking her some questions around this book. Um, I've I've not finished reading it, but I've started, and I'll tell you that this book is useful and is it's enlightening, especially for non-starters, people that don't understand what cybersecurity is all about. Let me quickly read to you uh, a brief profile of Ngozi Duru. Now, Ngozi is a dynamic cybersecurity professional with many years of industry experience, passionate about safeguarding digital landscapes. Ngozi dedicates her expertise to hosting free cybersecurity training, ensuring individuals and organizations alike are equipped with the knowledge to navigate the digital world safely. With a blend of technical prowess and a commitment to education, Ngozi is on a mission to empower others in the fight against cyber threats. So, this book speaks to who she is. So, I want to welcome Ngozi now. I want to welcome Ngozi now to join us as we go ahead. Ngozi, good evening. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, George. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to meet with us.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
Straight down. I want to discuss some things, Having started reading the book, there's some questions I would like to ask you that I'm sure the audience would like to know. Um, I will start by asking what is the nature of cyber attacks in our present world, and what is the approach we should take concerning these attacks?
Beautiful. That's actually a very broad question, but I'm going to answer that in a very concise way, really. So, gone are the days where attacks used to be just maybe a computer getting a virus or getting infected with a virus. Now there is huge, it's evolving, the threat landscape is evolving very fast, so that now we are dealing with very sophisticated attacks. We are dealing with APTs. The world is going towards, like, there's a lot of ransomware going on. There's a lot of phishing attack. And then when I say APT, that is advanced persistent threats, where you have threat actors who are state sponsored. Is that serious? So it's gone beyond just computers being infected to very sophisticated attacks.
Okay, and your book talks about all this.
Yes.
Okay.
So the idea is, why the natural thing for me to have done was to put down this book, because as I went along my journey, I began to see a lot of gap. I began to see that a lot of people, even down to organizations, are not prepared. Talking about resilience, cyber resilience, some companies, some organizations, they are prepared to some extent for cyber attacks. They are cyber security aware. But as it has to do with resilience, most organizations, not to talk of individuals, are not prepared. When we talk about resilience, we are talking about the preparedness for those organizations to be able to withstand an attack and recover, or possibly be able to continue operations even in the face of an attack. So that's where resilience comes in. organizations sometimes they have those proactive they have the proactive solutions, they have proactive cybersecurity in place, but they do not have, will I call it a continuity plan or a disaster recovery plan, where we now talk about resilience.
Okay, so I hear you talk about resilience, which brings me to this question. Now, there's been a lot of talk around cybersecurity, but not much about cyber resilience. So tell us about these two. What's the difference? And are they both equally important?
Yeah, thank you, Judge. I start by your last statement. They are both equally important. But like we said at the beginning, because the threat landscape is constantly evolving, I mean, these attackers are not relenting. They are not sleeping at all. So as the way we think our defenses are getting advanced, the attackers are getting more advanced. So we must come up to a
Yes.
place where we are able to match, if not outrun, these attackers, right? So for a typical traditional cyber security framework or cyber security implementation, we talk about your traditional firewall being in place, maybe at the edge of the network. You talk about implementing things like maybe multi-factor authentication, micro-segmentation, all within the network. But beyond that, so the truth is, we are no longer saying, are organizations going to be attacked, or if organizations are going to be attacked. The truth is that we should begin to say when they are attacked. Is the fact that we must begin to face. We're not talking if they are going to be attacked. They are definitely, when they are attacked, what do you do? How are you able to sustain business? How are you able to sustain continuity of operations? So that is the difference between just your regular traditional cybersecurity and then cyber resilience. So for cyber resilience, you're talking about being prepared for the worst, having plans and solutions in place to be able to run your business should in case there is a breach, should in case there is a ransomware. What do you have in place for business to continue while you are under attack? How are you able to recover from this attack? How are you able to go as if nothing happened? So that is where resilience comes in.
Okay, so for the private individual, how does this apply?
So also how it applies is this: from the start, you do both ways. You do your basic security. And for individuals, most of the time it's your endpoint, your simple application of your antivirus, malware, anti-malware, and all of that. And then taking a little step further by having credentials at least on your endpoints. Some people, you can't believe, some people up to now do not use any form of protection. They do not use passwords. So you go beyond just having password to having strong passwords, right? Then after that, you now begin to think, what if something happens in spite of all the controls I have in place? What should I do? Then you now begin to think about very simple actions and simple steps like having a backup, right? So that is where your resilience comes in as an individual. Do I have a backup somewhere? Should I have a situation? I was speaking with a friend yesterday, a colleague actually, my PhD colleague. I was requesting some photos that we took together while we're away somewhere outside the country for a study tour. And then he says to me, he said he does not have them. And I'm like, what happened? He said, you know, these things, they just say, press this, click this, and then he clicked and everything got wiped away. So that is a very typical situation. That is a very common thing that can happen. Now he's lost everything, but if he had it back up, and today there are so many solutions that help you to back up. So that is where it comes to individuals, you and your endpoints. What are you? Do you have backups? So as simple as that, really.
Okay. Now let me ask you another question, and I think if there is more time, we might add one or two more questions. This might just be the last question, but where does intelligence and machine learning come in the fight against cyber attacks?
Awesome. So there has been a lot of buzz around AI, and really AI is winning. AI is winning. So AI is really doing a lot. For instance, in detection and response, we now have for instance, in this Security Operations Center, the SOC, we have what is called the SOA, that is the Security Orchestration and Automation and Response. So you have a situation where you train the AI and the AI is able to detect an attack. The AI is also at the same time able to respond. So you have minimal human intervention in such cases. So that's a typical place where AI is really doing a lot. So AI is coming in places of even when you talk about threat intelligence, when you talk about forensic, you have AI playing a lot of role. So today, yeah, AI in threat intelligence and detection and response is doing awesome.
Okay, that's good. Now, your this book, like I said, I I have started reading the book. I haven't finished it, but what I have read so far is very informative and very educative and interesting. It's um, it's simple for the average person out there to have an understanding of what and how to mitigate against cyber attacks. If people want to get your book, how would they get that? Because for me, I would recommend it. I would recommend it for those that want to have some form of knowledge about cybersecurity and how to mitigate against cyber attacks.
Thank you so much, George. So the idea, you just called it right. The idea when I started writing this book was just to help our everyday people. I think we have to come to a point. I mean, the digital transformation is huge, and there's never going to be a time when we will go back. Instead, it will continue to evolve. So we should at the same time evolve our security control. We should be at the same time be very aware. So it was from a huge place of passion for people who have been attacked at one point or the other, and people who just see their money wipe away without knowing how it happened and all of that. So it was just about creating awareness and at the same time helping both professionals be able to just have like a compendium of when you think about an aspect of security, you just know where to go to. You don't need to go on the internet. You don't need to go rushing and thinking. You open up the book and it just addresses what you need to address. That's the idea. Currently, they are in bookstores around Nigeria currently. I think I'll have to drop maybe some information where some of the stores where they are, we are yet to have them on the internet, like Amazon and the Kindles and the others. We are working towards those. And I think they can reach you, George, if they need.
They can reach me for information. Uh, but I think I would I already have the e-copy, but I think I would like to have a physical copy for my library also. Um,
Sure, you have it.
I'll,
You have
yeah,
it.
yeah. So, Ngozi, thank you so much. Our time is up. We just have a few seconds left. I want to thank you so much for coming. Um, I know you told me that you have to rush somewhere, a family emergency came up, but I would get across to you Okay. For our viewers, I will just encourage you to kindly click like and subscribe so that anytime we are going live, you would get a notification and you join us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, George. I really appreciate this. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone, and hope to continue to stay safe.
Thank you, and God bless.